All right. Sorry about that. I just wanted that to be separate about what I say. And so it wasn't like a 5 hour live where people don't know where it's at or anything like that. So that's that. I just wanted to tell the truth. Um, none of us get it right all the time. I get that. But in this case, like, I didn't do anything. Bear with me. Um, yes, the Venmo is Monkey's Family Trust. It's so, as we know now, that this woman has been charged with or was arraigned yesterday. Something what I can't believe happened yesterday. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Um, thank you, Southern Grammy. Thank you so much. Um, I cannot believe the judge allowed her to bail. Thank you, Jackie. Love you, honey. Guys, sub up to Jackie. You will love her. She is the real deal, very humble person. Um, I really admire humble, kind people. None of us know it all or get it right all the time. We are human, and I love her humbleness. Hey, Precious. Hope you're feeling better, honey. I really do. I've been thinking about you. Um, so yeah, but why in the heck the Cash App is blocking payment? What do you mean? It's blocked. Well, I've had it on for 2 days. It may be unusual activity because I'm sure a lot of people from my couple lives that I've done has sent her. It may be the unusual amount of activity. So no, I mean, the thing is, Betty, she just she called and they told her they're the ones responsible for you know getting it out. Nobody, she wouldn't have said anything. Is Betty coming? Where's Betty? Let me text her. All right, I'm gonna drop a link for Betty. Why do I keep getting the wrong thing? There we go. Yeah, I mean, she made a phone call about a public inquiry, and you know, should she heard about it? Should have Brandy have heard about it uh, before? Obviously the world. Absolutely, she should have heard about it before the rest of the world. But you know, Betty just made a call and for a public inquiry that they. Hey, Camille. Camille.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, honey.
I just wanted to apologize to you. I should not. I should have handled things like you do when the haters come at you. But when I saw your name all in big letters, it just flew all over me. And then it was just like it wasn't even lies about anything you had mentioned. It was just made up stuff,
It
and then
was.
degrading. And I mean, the lady that has church lady before her name or whatever, she was talking like a trucker I've never heard before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, I just like you and I've said before, we've talked about, you can say anything you want to about me. I don't care. You can say she's from Mississippi, she talks slow, she must be slow, she must not know anything.
Well,
But
that's
you
not the.
say something about Justin and I'm coming for you.
Oh, honey, it's
It. I mean, I was screaming. The some of the people in chat can tell you I was screaming, and I told them, I said, y'all are pathetic low lifes. I said, what you're doing. I said, y'all are screaming at each other. I said, if you have a problem with Betty or Justin, go talk to them. Are you scared? Are you scared? Is that why you're sitting in here screaming at each other? And I said, no, what you're doing is you're using their name for clicks. So you're doing clickbait. So I'm going to leave this trash because y'all won't even let me talk for screaming over me.
yeah.
The
They
lady
don't
that's an attorney, that says she's an
allege it.
attorney from the UK, I said, well, first of all, if you were, you would know if you lived in the UK, you're called a solicitor, you're not called an attorney. So I really don't buy that very much because I was raised by one and both of my brothers are.
Yes,
And
I know your brothers are because you've offered their services to me. So
yes, and you can check their names. They're on the Mississippi State Bar. I mean, but
it's
I
okay.
just, I
We
mean,
have
I wanted
attorneys in
y'all to
Mississippi.
know.
Yay.
Right, right, close to you. But I hope I didn't make it worse for y'all, but it
No, no,
flew all over me 100 ways of hell. My
they
husband came in here and he was just kind of because I was screaming. I mean, screaming because they were screaming at each other and you couldn't talk over them. It was like seven people screaming at you,
yeah.
And my husband came in here and opened the door and he said, what are you doing? And I said, I'm arguing with these people on chat talking about Betty and Justin lying. And he said, well, I was just seeing if you were putting your tennis shoes on, fixing to put your hair up and go somewhere and whoop somebody's ass. I just need to know if I need to gather up bail money right now or what.
No, it's just not. They're just not worth it. They're just
No, but I just wanted to apologize if I brought anything more on you.
no. You didn't do anything. You
I
didn't do
should have
anything.
I should have acted more, but I just lost it. I just
I
saw red and I lost it. I
well,
couldn't control it.
I I actually don't listen to much,
Mhm.
if ever, hate videos. Because hate it gets you off topic, it gets you off track, and it you lose sight of the victim,
Right.
and I just try to stay with it. But I did listen to it for a few minutes yesterday, while and this one of them said they clipped something of me saying something, and I was like, oh, I please show that clip, because I would love. I mean, just made up,
Right.
completely made up. So
And then they brought Brandy on, and that's I just left. I mean, I wasn't going to sit there and scream, but they brought her on, so they were exploiting her. They brought her on live,
Bingo.
and she kind of looked.
Bingo. Right
She
there.
looked. Yeah, she
Bingo.
looked taken aback, like she didn't know she was going to be on live. I mean, she kind of, like was like, you know. I mean, you could tell. You don't
it it
like you
should be
said,
the
you don't do
last
that to
place.
your friends. You don't, and she was talking about what she had seen on the news, that they said his name on the news. It was that late, we were that late in the evening. So, I mean, I was just, you know, it was just so outlandish, the lies. I couldn't let them sit there and keep saying them without going in and saying something, and I didn't care if it made me look like a dumbass or an asshole or whatever. I was just, I just, I couldn't stop myself. I couldn't stop myself.
It's all right, Camille. Thank you. I
All right.
appreciate you, honey.
Well, I'll jump down. I apologize, but
You're
I
fine.
hope you two have a good day,
Love you,
and
honey.
we'll get past all these idiots.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's all right.
I know. Bye, you guys.
Bye, honey. Hey, Betty.
Well, hey, so I wanted to get a few things correct
Okay.
on here.
Go for it.
First and foremost, Justin had literally nothing to do with this. He was on a live. I didn't even realize he actually stopped his live to come over to my channel.
Yeah.
So he was not involved at all. First and foremost, this woman had been arrested since the 13th.
Right.
There is no good excuse for arresting somebody in connection with somebody else's son and not tell that family.
You're absolutely right. You're right.
In reality, Brandy should have known before they put the cuffs on her or shortly after they put the cuffs on her, because she was going to go to court. In court, the judge himself alleged this is failure to report a crime of Michael Vaughan. This was absolutely 100% connected to this case. Yes, I do investigative journalism. This name came up a day that I was not even working. I was off. So it just picked up a phone and found out, because I called the day before to find out what the charges were. They did not release the charges yet. So I waited until the morning. They released the charges, and I went live with the charges. That is not my fault that Brandy didn't know. Now, did Brandy find out from Bullhorn Betty what happened? No, she did not.
No, she didn't.
Let me tell you what happened. These so-called friends of hers
Yep.
trotted her up on their panel like a show pony and dropped the worst news in that woman's mind on live TV, devastating her in front of their audience to get the pity party, to get the clicks, to get the views, to get everything they said I was trying to do. No, I do this for every single case. And if you were such a good friend to Brandy, why in the hell would you do that on live TV? Let me explain that. I want somebody to explain that to me. Why would you do that to that poor woman in front of everyone? That was a private conversation. So people are asking, Bullhorn Betty, why didn't you reach out to Brandy yourself before you ran with it? First of all, when I find out information, I don't call families and say, hey, do I have your permission to release it? I don't do that, nor will I ever. That is horrible journalism. Horrible. First and foremost. Secondly, it was not my responsibility to tell her. It was law enforcement's responsibility to tell her. That woman was 2 hours from going to court for Michael Vaughan.
Yes.
So she was going to find out if law enforcement had not told her yet. And she was going to find out from somebody other than law enforcement. I did not know. So why didn't I reach out to her? Very simple. She asked people to give her her privacy during this time. Was I going to act like a fake friend and call her and prance her on my live? Of course not, because I absolutely have respect for that woman and would never do anything to hurt her. And even on my live, I still thought she had already knew and even said, Brandy, if you're watching, this is probably not the show for you today.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't imagine.
So the idea that I did that, no, her so-called friends on YouTube did that to her, not Bullhorn Betty.
That's right. That's
Her
exactly
so-called friends tortured her in front of their audience for clicks and views, not Bullhorn Betty. I left her alone as she requested multiple times to give her family time to grieve.
That's right.
I would never. And you know what her only request from me was throughout this whole entire process is to not spread misinformation and to only get my information from law enforcement. Guess what? That's exactly what I did. I did absolutely nothing wrong. And let me tell you something.
We're not anywhere else. I mean, we have to get it from either, from the news or law enforcement. I mean, we're not on the ground.
I didn't even have to say I was media to get that information. They didn't even ask me for my name. Like anybody literally could have called that number. Anybody. Brandy should have never had to call to find that out. Law enforcement is working on her son's case. She should have known about it as soon as that woman was charged with those crimes.
Absolutely.
And they not only should have told her, they should have had a freaking counselor out there with her to handle and process through this.
Yes. When they reported that they were looking for Michael Vaughan's body, that's what they said. That's what they reported, the news, that they were looking for Michael Vaughan's remains. There. That is when they should have told her the charges and stuff, in my opinion.
Yeah. And let me tell you, let me address this whole crazy Daisy thing. This is a woman that has pranced, I don't know how many people up on her panel on Summer Wells that didn't have, that lied, that fabricated information that she failed to vet. She was always having to be the first one to report news on her channel during Summer Wells. And somehow all of her misinformation, oh, she wants to whack her finger at me. Let me tell you, when she was getting beat up for the Summer Wells case, I piped in there and said, you know, don't let the haters get to you. I gave her words of encouragement. I never tried to beat her up or not have all the facts before I spoke to her about something. Mm-hmm. And for her to go on there without even giving me that respect. Yeah, let me tell you something crazy, Daisy. Fuck you. Excuse my language.
No, I second that.
And don't ever come on my channel acting like you support something I do. You don't support jack shit. What you are is you are a flip-flopper, a wish-washer, and all you do is do things for clicks and views. You never get your fat ass up off your chair to do a damn thing for a child. So I don't ever want to hear you criticize me ever again. You get your facts straight first.
Yes. I mean, she's the one that said Rose was alive.
For the love of God. Yeah, and tried to make the stretch and showed that. I'm like, I had to leave her chat. And did I go out and condemn her for that? Hell no.
I went up on her chat and proved to her just very nice. Very nice. And I got off the chat and they tarred and feathered me.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it's this is a dog eat dog world. Trust me, if anybody is pointing the finger at somebody, they are doing the exact same thing. That's why I never sit here and point my finger at people. When it comes to women, I try to uplift them. I try to give them, purpose and let them know that they are powerful. They are powerful people. Do I do it for everybody? Yes, but my target is primarily women because I feel like the women's voice has been snuffed out. But anyways, this got me hot. This has obviously got me upset, about all this with Brandy. I have never done anything but sit there and come whenever everybody in the world was beating on her and breathing down her freaking neck. And Dolly and I gave her a fair shake. And because these YouTubers don't like us, they go and lie and destroy this woman on live TV and then try to point it at me as if I did it. No, bitches, you did that yourself.
Whenever, what was it? Whenever, I was up on panel on Marissa's one time, and these creators, she's like a psychic or something like that. She came up and they were just hounding. It was those people on Twitter that was hounding Brandy like that. And I went up there and I really went to bat for Brandy. And, those creators hounded me for days and days. I was the one that messaged her whenever the foot fable thingies was going on when they were selling those shoes of Michael Vaughan. Mm-hmm. I was the first one to get in contact with her and told her to please send this to the FBI.
Yeah, I mean, we never want any harm. I would never. First of all, let's be honest here. If I truly believed that the family was not informed, I would have reached out to my contact for the family and informed them. I have never in my life dealt with charges being released to the public and the family not knowing. Let's be honest here, okay? But what her so-called YouTube friends did to her was something that was despicable and disgusting, and it was heartless. And they do not get to point the finger and blame Bullhorn Betty or Justice for All for that. They did that all themselves. And how dare they? That poor woman has been through pure freaking hell. Hell. A hell that you and I don't even understand.
Can't begin to comprehend. And Betty, this is the thing. You've met her. You've met Brandy face to face. I haven't met Brandy face to face. You've met Brandy face to face, and her friend
I don't even think these women have even met
No,
Brandy
no, never.
Never even gave 5 cents for a plane ticket. My plane ticket cost me almost $800 round trip. Not even including the car rental or the room. It's sick. And I did that out of the courtesy and the love of my heart.
Okay. Guidance says the Cash App for Monkeys Family Trust is now Venmo. That's why it's not working. Okay, so let me fix this. Okay. So, you know, they want to be
I agree with you, that girl. 100%. 100%. Trust me. I called the only person I said and gave my deepest apologies to that family, because in the grand scheme of things, I did not know that law enforcement failed to tell them. I mean, this lady was going to court literally 2 hours when this story broke. 2 hours. She was going to court for that poor boy and failing to report his death. That's not something that's not even something mainstream media should have posted without her knowing, and they were about to. They dropped their story 15 minutes after mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
But anyways, I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm sorry that you went through it, but all of it is lies. And the people that are trying to act like they're this family's friends are manipulating this woman in her time, the worst time of her life, and in her time of need. They are using their friendship as a weapon against this woman. And that is exactly what is happening. This is not something I've created. I have been nothing but utmost respectful to her and the family. And no matter what they can say to her, if she wants to believe it, then she can believe it. But I can guarantee I would have never done what they did. And this idea that she learned it from me, no, she didn't. She learned it from her so-called YouTube friends.
Right.
On live TV, by the way. They didn't even give her the respect of calling her behind the scenes or taking her offline to talk to her to see if she knew about it. They just wanted to drop that big bombshell on her on live YouTube. That's what they wanted. That's what they got. And then they wanted to point the finger at Bullhorn Betty and say, I didn't know, baby. Purple Phoenix, you did that all yourself. Disgusting. Shame on you. That is not being a friend to that woman. Ever. That is not integrity. That is not character. And that is not class. That is low. Don't you dare say you're her friend and do that to her. And don't use my name to cover your ass.
Yeah, I mean.
But I know you don't swear on your channel, so I want to give you my apologies.
Okay.
But over this, I am just like you, absolutely like speechless and livid all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, people were just crazy yesterday, and I was like, I didn't do that, I mean, so.
And let me tell you, for all those people that are Brandy's so-called friends on YouTube, if you truly are her friend, you will tell her it is now time for her to focus on her family and to get off of YouTube for just a little bit. If you truly are her friend, you don't need to.
I mean, I think Brandy would I think she is, focusing on her family and stuff. I just think the problem is them calling her and putting her up on the panel like a show pony.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's sad. And Brandy, you deserve better. I'm sorry. Maybe they were there for you in your time of need back then, but what they're doing to you now is something that is disgusting. And no matter how much they tried, anybody can go on to my my Facebook page and see what I did. I called law enforcement for information, which they provided me. I did everything above board. I didn't do anything underhanded. I didn't do anything sneaky. I was doing my due diligence. A woman was arrested the day before. Every news broadcast across Idaho was reporting that they were at 1102 Red Wing, that the occupants in that house have been arrested, all of them. I'm curious as to what they were arrested for. Anybody on here? The only thing I truly believe that ticked everybody off is because everybody, especially this group that showed Brandy as a show pony, they felt they were entitled to that information before anyone else. At the end of the day, this doesn't come down to me exposing something that was public record. It comes down to them not being the first one to do it. And that, my friend, is what I think is the most disgusting about all of it. But with that, I love you, Justin. Keep up the good work. You definitely did nothing wrong. I definitely did nothing wrong. Whitley with Eastern Kentucky Independent News did nothing wrong.
Well, she was the one that called first, correct?
Yeah, she's the one that called first.
Right.
She's the one that called me and said, hey, you know, they finally released the charges.
Right.
You might want to call in and find out what the charges are.
Because she called the night before, I think she said.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell her then, right, or something? And
I
then
don't know if they didn't
next
tell her
morning.
then or waited until the morning, but either way, they did tell her the charges. They released those charges to the public.
Right.
And when those charges were released to the public, the family should have known. This woman was about to go to court on her arraignment for failing to report their son's death.
Less than 2 hours.
Less than 2 hours away.
Yeah.
And she was arrested the night before to get a 1:30 arraignment the next day.
Right. And the family didn't even know.
Didn't even know. That was not a ball drop on our end. That was a ball that was dropped on law enforcement's end.
Right.
And it was
I mean, the thing is, they could have said, hey, we're not telling you. But they said what they said.
See, the problem is the law sucks in a situation like this. You can't arrest somebody and then hide the charges from the public.
Right.
So they had no choice. They can't say, we can't tell you. They're obligated by law to inform the public when they call in, because if for some reason they have a bond, you can't prevent somebody from bonding them out.
Right.
So they can't lie to you or deceive you or tell you no comment on charges of a person that has been arrested.
Freedom of information.
They can't do that. They're required by law to release that information. So when it's for public consumption, the family should know.
Yes.
And that's what people don't get. It's not like this officer could say, you know, no comment to me or any other citizen. They can't, by law, they can't. If they arrest somebody on charges, they have to let the public know what those charges are by law.
Right.
So this was not going to stay silent. This was not going to be a sneaky court here. They can't do that.
Oh. I mean, and another thing, like, I don't think, you know, if it would have, you know, if her friend, Randy's friend, would have waited, and she wouldn't have known because of you. She would have known in, you know, 2 hours when the arraignment happened.
Or when the news broke. The news was literally broke as I was live. I mean, when you were coming over to my page, it was already breaking on their local news. So no matter how you look at it, even when they called Brandy and it was already breaking on her local news, she probably wasn't paying attention because she was on the phone with them.
Yeah, well, whenever I called you and was reading that news, the Twitter when you was live, and I said that it broke. So.
Yeah, I mean, even law enforcement, they went. I don't even think they called Brandy. They went on their own social media and posted it. It's like somebody dropped the ball here. It wasn't Justin. It wasn't Bullhorn Betty. The only people to blame for the way Brandy found out was her so-called friends on YouTube. You know, no respectable person would ever do that to a family that has suffered so much. Like, who would do that? That's the question people need to be asking, not why Bullhorn Betty got a hold of public records. I got a hold of public records because that's what I do. We talk about public records and the utilization of them all the time. I'm sure Justice does too.
Of course.
I mean, that's what we work on is public record. I mean, there's some things that me personally can get with my press credentials, but all this, I didn't even have to tell them my name. I didn't have to tell them I'm with, U.S. Press Corps or Bullhorn Betty channel. I didn't have to tell them squat. All I said is, hey, can you please give me the charges for Stacey Wondra and or Sarah Wondra? He told me Stacey was not arrested and Sarah's been arrested for failing to report a death to law enforcement or the coroner. I didn't even ask him for who. So anyways, I don't want to take it too much of your live away, but I'm just, it was hot. I'm hot under the collar. And I just wanted to make sure, because I finally got to see what happened to Brandy yesterday and it broke my ever loving heart. And shame on them. And no, F no, you are not blaming that on Bullhorn Betty. You did that all by yourself. And you did that to somebody you said you give a damn about.
Well, I mean,
that is despicable.
Yeah. You called and they told you what they told you. You're not responsible for what they tell you. And then, you released it, or you played the recording. And then, of course, the drama channel has to let her hear it. And
on camera.
Yeah.
What kind of friend does that? You say you care about this woman that has gone through pure hell. You told her I was going to go to her house and cause a crap storm. I never did that.
They said I was going to be there Wednesday because I was on my other channel and I put, because I was kind of in a little tiff with her friend the other day whenever she was saying I was making up my source or something like that. And I was like, he's a doctor and I'll let you listen to the freaking recording for that matter.
We don't make up sources, people, if you haven't figured that out yet.
And
not drama channels.
I was like, well, I guess I'll go to Idaho for my sources then. I mean, and she's like, well, yeah, I hear they're coming Wednesday and all that. I'm like, oh, for ever loving grace of God.
Never said that. You know what I said? I told my contact, I said, if something breaks, I'm going to head there to cover the story. I'm not going there to cover the story in front of Brandy's house. I'm going to cover the story in a journalistic aspect in front of the culprit's home. And I don't need permission. Let's just be honest. I care for Brandy. I care for what she's going through. But at the end of the day, I have a job to do. And the job I do very well. No different than the way Justice does his work. He's more thorough in some aspects of things. I try to get out there and find out what's really going on. But this idea that I'm going to start asking, no, I don't ask permission to run stories on my channel. Nor
right. Well, nobody. I mean, like I get Brandy asking people to not do misinformation. I get that. You know what I mean? But a person. And I'm not saying Brandy, but a person can't say this creator can do this story, but this creator can't do it, and this creator can't. It's
freedom of the press.
It's a free country, it's
freedom of the press, and we have a right to cover the cases that we cover. I did a service for Brandy. At the end of the day, people thought I was against Brandy, which I wasn't. I was just trying to get information on the case. People were beating that poor woman and her family up until Dolly and I actually went down there and put our feet on the ground. People were trying to point their finger at this family. This family had nothing to do with it. And out of all the people, they were hoping that Bullhorn Betty would come there and say the same thing. And I did, because that's the truth. And you never seen any kind of shenanigans out there. We were helping. We posted flyers. We posted banners. Those so-called friends of hers never did a damn thing for her. And now they're trying to point the finger at me. No, I am just a journalist here on YouTube that utilizes this platform for these cases. That's all I do. I'm not even a YouTuber. I'm becoming one. because I'm having to fight for tooth and nail against all these lies, just like you. But you know what? Like you said, I think you said it best at the beginning. You stopped paying attention. I stopped paying attention too. What bothers me is like there's a few creators that I still go and watch. And when I see them going off and didn't even bother picking up the phone and calling me, I just realized their character integrity and class just went in the toilet.
Well, they didn't even call you to get this story. It's
no, just started screaming. You know what you did? What did I do? I called and got public information like I've done in every single case. What did I do wrong? I do everything above board. Like, what did I truly do wrong? I'm not law enforcement. It wasn't my duty to tell this family. But it is my duty to tell my audience the public information that's available to them.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm done with my rant. I feel a little better, but I can't believe they did that to that poor lady. I really can't. And they're trying to point the finger at everybody else but them. They did this. Nobody else did this. Her so-called friends on YouTube did this to her.
They shouldn't.
I want to make sure that is very well and prevalent across the streets of YouTube, because the only person to blame for her pain yesterday was her so-called friends that chose to do that on live YouTube. Who does that to a woman that is being crushed by the information, even if she had already knew? Why in the hell would they take her live to discuss it right after she finds out? As if they don't have a heart, and everything in this world revolves around them and their need to have their mouth to her ear.
I mean, you would think that law enforcement would have told them the moment they arrested her. We arrested someone, that may have this information
in connection with your son's case.
Right.
I have never in my life and law enforcement out there has done pretty damn good. We talk about it. But you know what? They probably have been so busy with somebody dropped the ball, but it wasn't us.
That's funny.
Doppelganger, really?
It's her doppelganger, really.
Yeah.
That channel.
Well, again, Justin, you didn't deserve the backlash you got, and I thought it was disgusting that your name was only the one in the title on.
She has a problem with me because of that time I went up there and proved to her that it was not Rose.
Yeah. And she finally got it. It wasn't Rose, but she can still be butthurt. I've never done anything to her to be attacked like that. But trust me, once you attack me like that, there ain't no coming back. So you just stay on your side of the crazy fence, lady. You're not welcome over on the channel of Bullhorn Betty ever again. You don't ever talk to me like that. I don't know who the hell you think you are, but you do not talk to me like that.
She's a conspiracy theorist, is what she is.
Well, that's what happens when you're sniffing manure all day.
I guess.
To the brain cells.
Go out the pasture, lady.
Yeah. Well, Justice, I'm going to get off of here. I just thank you for your time. I thank you for your audience time, but I just wanted to clarify some things, and my heart goes out to that family. It is an unfortunate circumstance, but I refuse to take the blame for this, because no, she did not learn this from me. She learned this from her so-called friends, and they didn't even give her the courtesy of calling her to talk to her about it. They wanted to make sure they got the raw emotion on there alive. And that to me is the most disgusting thing I have ever in my life saw. Mm-hmm. And yesterday when I was getting hit by all sides, I didn't know what the hell was going on, to be honest with you. I'm like, what did I do wrong? What did I do? And everybody's like, she found out from you. And I went back and watched it. And I'm like, no, she didn't.
Yep.
No, she didn't. She found out from YouTube. That is true. But it wasn't from Bullhorn Betty. It was from her so-called friends. Yeah. So, anyways, God bless everyone. I love you.
Love you, honey. All right, bye. Well, there you have it. It's I just hope people leave Brandy alone, even her so-called friends. Talk to her privately. But she's grieving. She doesn't need to be worried about any of us at all. God bless the woman. So now, guys, Brandy's. It still says Cash App. Hold on, let me change this. I thought I changed it. It's Venmo. Venmo. So it's at. So we're why does it still say Cash App? I just changed it. Oh, hold on. Wrong one. There we go. Venmo is at Monkey Family Trust. Cher wants to get Quentin's mom and Brandy on a live together. Wow, there is no comparison with these families. There is no comparison with those families. Brandy is a grieving mother. Billy Joe is an enabler. That's exactly right, Bet Girl. Agree, Justin. She has pain unimaginable. And I mean, I don't know of anybody, there's only one creator that I know that talked to which Brandy said a suspect, the potential suspect, but the police has said that the RSOs are not involved. But I get what Brandy's saying. Just nobody should be trying to call them. Thank you, Roberts girl. Appreciate you, honey. Really do. Thank you. Yeah, I heard that. I'm not surprised. It wouldn't surprise me if she was the first, because she was really one of the first that she was the first that gave him sympathy as far as enabling abusers. Thank you, Susan B, for becoming a member. So yeah, that'll be something if it comes out that he actually does excuse me, if he does come on her channel tonight. So guys, I will be back in a little bit. We will start covering the case as it happens today. Karen, I do not want kid. It's a bribery ring. Even Duty Ron was talking about how bad it is for people to bring the suspects on panel night after night. I don't bring suspects on my panel. I don't even talk to suspects generally. It's not, for me, it's just not a rule, but it's a for me personally, I don't need to talk to the suspects. Other people interview them, and I just don't like to talk to them. I can find out what they're doing without them telling me. They tell other people. So that's that. That's true. They should have got her a victim advocate. That is true. Amy M, I'll tell you privately, she's nobody. It's that channel has more misinformation than one could even begin to know. I mean, they just state everything as fact. Yeah, exactly. There's nothing factual there. Nothing. Well, hello. Good to see everybody today. Hello. Hit the thumbs up button. Hello. God. Get the snuff out of your mouth before you talk to the microphone. God. That's exactly what she does when she starts her live. Well, hello. I tell you what, guys. That that Justice for All, he's the biggest liar. I knew he was a snake a long time ago. He's a big old snake. I told everybody a long time ago he's a big old snake. Ethel, you got those green beans done yet? What? Sissy's having puppies? Oh, yep, one's coming out of her ass right now. Get her, Cecil. Sorry, guys. Well, hello. Oh, God. Like, how does anyone take that seriously? How does anyone? I swan to goodness. Swan to goodness. I'm telling you, for a matter of fact, that is Rose. That is Rose. I'm like, lady, it's respectfully, Miss Daisy, it's not Rose. Well, I'm telling you it is. Miss Daisy, here is the proof. Well, that's your truth. That ain't mine. No, it's a fact, Miss Daisy. No, no, it's not. Hold on a minute there, Justice. No boy that wears makeup. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, I need a number 3 with extra, 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 extra gravy. I don't know. I've just never seen anything like her in my life. So, this is the thing. It's like people in these moments, and it's a lot of, I'm sorry to say, but a lot of people like gang mentalities, and people like to gang up and cause a, this big pack of like a wolves or something, and they don't know how to think for themselves, and everyone's so holier than thou, when Daisy doesn't remember just a few months ago a woman that was allegedly murdered, I would say abducted. She definitely abducted, and she hasn't seen her kids or anything. It's, just think for yourselves, people. Think it out through your head. Just because someone says, oh, that Justin, he was going, he put all that phone call out and everything. I'm like, I was live. How can I put something out when I was live and I just showed you the video? So Daisy said what? Daisy said, let that ZV say awful things. What's ZV? Well, hello, everybody. This is the music she comes in with, too, or she used to. I haven't watched Daisy in a long, long time. Let me find it, though. This is it. I think it is. She comes in. Well, hello. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Granny feeling it tonight. Cow lady made you mention that last night. Tell her to chew her cud and go back to pasture. She was at the courthouse long time ago whenever she was at I think Dawn was going to court, and her and her sister and all of them was there. She didn't know who I was then. I don't think I was a creator then. So what did Betty say? Oh, well, Hakuna, that's who runs the channel. I'm a posh lawyer. You can tell I'm country. You can tell I'm country if I know what cud is. Most people don't even know what cud is, I don't think, probably. Remember, she was going to solve Summer's case as soon as the FBI looked at her paperwork. Yes. They're going to look at this paperwork and they're going to know it's Rose. They're going to look at it. Telling you. I'm telling you. I'm wearing you down, Cecil. I'm wearing you down. Some people hear something and take it for the gospel. Exactly. Don't believe anybody until take their information, take it, and then do your research, and then use your brain. And their research will either be proven or disproven. You can't get your emojis to show? I know, stars. It's like crazy. Oh, be careful, Steffers. Be careful, honey. I don't know if any other channels expect the heels and I mean, I'm not aware of anybody that's going to Idaho. She's hanging on by a 10th. Who is Elsie? Elsie, who's hanging on by a 10th of a lung? If you're talking about Miss Daisy, her lungs worked really good last night, in my opinion. Denture Froth Lady. Who's Denture Froth Lady? Some creators serve up cow patties with extra, serving it up country style, Justin. Justin, the boy who wears makeup, serving up the truth. Thank you. Thank you. A little gay boy on here. A little gay boy. Okay. All right. Maybe I should have done this on my other channel. Oh my God, I'd rather listen to PG any day than her. Any day. Yes. We rock it out, girl. Thank you, Pebbles. Thank you, honey. God, it's craziness. Let's just pray that them creepers told Brandy YouTubers were coming down. When Brandy told YouTubers if they showed up, like they did in Georgia, they'd be arrested. There's nobody would ever show up. Like, even if YouTubers did show up, they would never do anything like that to Brandy, because you don't do that to innocent people. Justin, all the Academy Award was given last night on her live. Unbelievable, the drama. Yeah, it was. It was. It reminds me of like a 90s talk show, you know. It's kind of like Bessie will deliver her message and the cow in 30 seconds when we come back. You are not the father. Oh, I love it. Magic Foundation, love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. It's one of my favorite ones. Yes. Yep. Craig K. Gospel. Yes. Yeah. There's two on there that can, praise the Lord and pass the ammunition and cuss like a sailor in the same breath while they light a Pall Mall 120 and pick out their fanny pack, get their lighter and clip their toenails and do a true a true crime all in one. I don't know. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition, Lord of my salvation. I can see PG singing that while she's polishing her gun. Praise the Lord. She's got her little squirt gun, I guess I'll just say for YouTube purposes, in her hand. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Thank you, Lord. Coming today. Oh, God. Camel, no filter, and a lighter leash. Bam! That's it. That's it. Yes. I bet you those fingers are golden yellow tipped. Brr. You forgot the swear words, I know. I try not to cuss too much, so. Too much. Sometimes I do, but people don't want to hear you cuss a lot online, especially YouTube. Carson. I don't know. Yes. Someone help. Who are we talking about? We're talking about Miss Daisy. Well, hello. I thought the country gravity lady was gone a long time ago. Elbow bump. Yes, we're not going to talk about. We're not going to give Crayola's name in here. The Clampets. I can see that. Yeah, we're not going to say them in here, guys, because I don't want to give them any clout. They're not worth it, trust me. I sound like Mrs. Doubtfire. Well, I am a dude that looks like a lady sometimes, so maybe I am. He was cussing like a champ last night. My you got to have self-deprecating humor, guys. You really do. I mean, don't take yourself too seriously. I like the way I look, and as long as I'm happy with me and I dress like Joe Exotic, I'm happy, okay? With my leopard shirts and all that. Yeah, don't let my face fall off. You like when I dress like Mama from Mama's Family? Yeah. Be happy with yourself. Be happy with your life. I'm telling you, life is very, very short. We only get so many trips around the sun. And when you've worked at a funeral home, you realize that and you see it every single day. And that's why, you know, try to be good to people and, and be respectable and and even then there's people that's not going to like you. They're not going to agree with you. And some people, you don't have to do anything. They just simply don't like you, and that's okay. um and it just is what it is. That's just life, and it's not ever going to change. um but try to put more love in your heart. A lot of people, I mean, I don't understand how people have to do drama, turmoil, chaos every day. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Trust me, when we come down here to learn lessons, we don't want to uh, keep coming down here and do it all over and over again. I agree. I agree. And Lynn, I don't know if you know this, but I volunteered for hospice too. So I've always kind of been in this field, of something of end of life or care. Uh, it does, Lynn. When you walk out of a hospice, every single day that I've ever been there, I leave. I leave feeling like I made a difference. Whether it was just bringing coffee to someone who was, an older lady who was, her husband was dying, or, someone, that you're just helping them in some small way. So, I've always tried to have compassion first for people. So I'm human. Sometimes I don't, but I don't really ever start anything. I might respond and say something, sideways back at you, but I don't start it. And I even try to be kind to the ones who don't like me. You know, like Rap the other day, you know, like it's not that I didn't like him or anything, even though he had said some, you know, some really sideways things to me. And he kept on and he kept on, and finally I had to say a little something to him. But that's right, we don't know what another's going through. And this is the thing. Everybody in life, every single soul, whether they act like they're the hardest, biggest badass, or, you know, any other person, everybody wants love and everybody wants acceptance. Everybody. And if we want that, then we also need to know how to give it to others. Thank you, Teresa. That's right, stars. Everyone does have a battle that they're going through. And, you know, in life, there's hilltops, there's valleys, there's detours, you know, there's smooth roads, there's rough roads, and some are all on the same day, you know, and some some days are amazing, you know, but it is a struggle for everyone every day, to you know, deal with life. We don't know. Life can change in a second. And Joan Rivers said something. I like quotes. I have even a couple quotes on my big bathroom mirror that I have. And I have quotes everywhere, just cards and little things that says quotes on it and stuff like that. And Joan Rivers always said, when you're in the good times and you don't stop and realize you're in the good times, and you don't thank God for when you have the good times, then she said a fool. I don't like using the word fool, but she said fool. But I love Joan Rivers. I do love Joan Rivers tremendously. And when you're in the good times, enjoy them, because they don't last forever. And, you know, embrace it and thank God for when you're in the good times of life. And, you know, when you're in the harder times of life, just remember that the good times will come back and the clouds don't remain forever. So that's all right, guys. I'll be live in just a little bit. I've got to get some work done. Justin, I hope you read this. Here to apologize. I said a remark the other chat to you, and I think it came off wrong. Sorry, I meant no harm. I respect it. Thank you. Appreciate you very much. I honestly, thank you. I see you. Thank you. I don't remember, to be quite honest with you, if I've seen it or I said something wrong, but if I said something to you, I apologize as well. It takes a big person to come back and apologize, especially when you're a stranger and you didn't have to. So I appreciate that very much. All right, guys, God bless each and every one of you. Please hit the thumbs up on your way out. I would greatly appreciate it. Take good care of each other.